Hari Om. So before we could take up the 270, a small clarification has to be given on 269 based on the question raised by one person. So they were telling me that in continuation to our talks, whatever we had for a quite number of series about Yanisham Sarvabhutanam dash 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 Shanesam Pashyate Munihi. Isn't it? So where just in an analogical fashion we understood that whereas a crow can see during the day but not at night, an owl cannot see during the day but can see at night. Isn't it? The difference. That is with respect to what I call enlightened man sees the self, whereas the ignorant sees only the world. Now the question is how to identify who is correct, who is right. Is the crow right or is the owl right? Owl sees during the night, crow sees during the day. Enlightened sees the world, ignorance enlightened sees the self, ignorant sees the world. So, which seeing is more correct is the question. Hmm, that's really an intelligent one. And we should always go as per the pramanas. So, as per the pramanas, when we go, the person who is perceiving the world and doing action and going behind it, is he ever happy? Is the question. Yes, he is happy in titbits. He is happy in small pockets. He is happy temporarily. But at the same time, he is miserable also, suffering also, swayed by attractions and aversions. Mind is perturbed, agitated, restless, sleepless. Correct? Think. So, whereas an enlightened person who is established in the Atman, he doesn't have these dualities and these sufferings. Therefore, the Shrutis are correct. An enlightened man who is established in the self, where it is a night for everybody, is the right one. Not a normal human being who sees day for enlightened night. No, that is not to be considered. Isn't it? Because, you see, here if you see the objects to give pleasure, then it's duality. A person wants to buy something, a person wants to sell something. A person wants to get married, a person wants to get out of marriage. A person wants a type of education, other person wants another type of education. Think. So if objects were to give happiness, if marriage were to give happiness, everybody would like to enjoy. A married woman wants to come out of that relationship and be happy. Or if not come out due to the society norms, the married woman wants to build a room and stay in that room with her small induction cooker or something. Then why is duality? If marriage were to be happiness, everybody should relish. It's not so. But whereas the person who is established in the self, whosoever it may be, they're happy. No, there's no second opinion on that. Education. Some wants to be lawyers, some wants to be engineers, some wants to be doctors, some want to be actors, models, what not, chart accountants. Sorry, sorry. Think. Hmm? So with this, it is very clear that world of objects is of differences. There's no one, there's no uniqueness there, there's no oneness there. Same object can give happiness to one, can give misery to others. People who do not have children, they want children. People who have children, they say, "You kahan se toot pade? From where did this child come?" Think people want to put their children in residential schools so they can be happy, and then once they get a seat in residential school, some reason, some flaw, they say, no, no, let the child with me. And when the child is with them, again, pen. You, the child doesn't listen to me, the child doesn't do that, doesn't do that. Oh, it goes on. Think, who is making all this? Our decisions. Oh, you, I'm left alone without my son. What to do? Hmm. Put him in a boarding. That is not possible. Everything there is a challenge. Then how? So this be very, very clear that the saint who is in this self is the right perception as per the Shrutis. We are supposed to aim to that. For such a man of steady wisdom, the cessation of all the turbulence, the turbulence, are self evaded. How are they self evaded? Is the question. For this, the Lord Himself answers in 217. आपूर्यमानम् अचलप्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमापप्रविशन्ति यद्वत् सत्कामं यं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. See, the saying goes, आपूर्यमानम् अचलं प्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमाशं समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत्. So, what does it mean here? Yadvatu, without causing any disturbance, the manner in which, as it is, apaha, all water, even though originating from the rainfall. Water, from where do we get water? From the rain. Wherever it rains, wherever it might rain. Pravishanti, praveshaha, anti, pravishanti, enters what? Samudram, a sea. So the water, wherever it falls from the skies in the form of the rain, they enter the ocean. Please don't come out with an analogy of building dams and blocking that, and where a portion of the water is evaporated and other portion is taken for cultivation. No, no, no. Please don't expand the analogy like that. These are all in general terms. Apuryamanam. And now, all this water which has been fallen from the clouds, they are filled by the rivers and seas. Of what kind? Achalaha pratistham, which remains unchanged. Chala means changing. Achala means not changing, unchanged. And which does not exceed its limits. Which the immovable ones, like the mountains, have their existence. Pratishtaha, Mainaka, and other things. It shows its immense depth. Pratishtaha. Tadvat. Similarly, in the same way, in that very manner, what happens? The wisdom who verily remains undisturbed. The wisdom of a self-realized man is undisturbed, unwavering. Sarva, all. Kamaha. Kama means desirable objects, as you know, as sparsha, rasa, gandha, and etc. Isn't it? Pravishanti enters what? Unavoidable owing of prarabdha karma. The prarabdha also ceases. They are unable to penetrate the mind. Of whom? Of Saha. Saha means the man of steady wisdom, who is comparable to the vast ocean. The ocean of knowledge. There are two great men when I think of this. One is Osho Rajneesh, other one is our Gurudev or Acharya. They're all very deep. Apnoti attains how? Through the power of knowledge, Shantim, peace. They attain peace. Peace of what sort? Temporary peace? Cessation of all the disturbances, which are a consequence of secular and sacred activities, and recurrence of effects of ignorance, which were what you call stamped or put down. It's not again rise. It's not temporary putting it down. Permanent. Think on this. We'll continue further. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru.